Hey everybody, welcome to Record-ology Live. That's right, your one-stop shop for live streaming entertainment, full color stereo sound, actually mono sound, and high quality material. Nothing but the best. You guys are going to experience a show like no other. Actually, I'm really amping it up way too much. We're just going to hang out. Welcome in, Wolf Toxic. Hi. Evan, welcome in. Rip Alex Trebek. I know, I heard about that today. And what's weird is I knew he was fighting his battle, and I didn't know that he was that close, and that's terrible. Definitely a fixture on television for decades and decades. Progressive guy, good evening. Welcome in. Just an informal show, guys. I try, it's really weird, but it's really hard to get people on the lives. Considering we have like 9,000 subscribers, you know, it's tough to get very many people on the show. So I was like, what can we do? And I feel like, well, people have more heads up. And I know there's a lot of folks in the UK that would like to join, but it's just the hours don't work for them. So one time I did a morning one and it didn't do that well either. So I still got to figure out the live thing. I'm still working on it, but you know, been doing these shows daily, which I really enjoy, but I love doing the live. So I thought for today's show, we would do the live. Why do I have a bird on my shoulder? Why not? That's Yoshi. So a lot of people will say, man, that's annoying, that beeping, cheeping sound. Well, Yoshi is the director of photography and he has to give his direction, right? Yeah, you have to tell me when I'm screwing things up, which is often. So anyway, he knows he's being naughty to make annoying sounds. He memorizes sounds and then he'll play them back. He'll say them, he'll speak them, whatever. And yeah, he's definitely got an attitude. And tonight, for some reason, he flew over to me when I started setting up for this. So I figured that meant that he wanted to be on the show. So here is a close shot of the beautiful boy himself, Yoshi, which is his formal name. But I call him Sean. That's his nickname. Don't ask me why. His name is Sean. But he's a good boy. He's a good boy. You can see those little sticks coming out of when he ruffles, by the way, that's agitated version. When he's smooth and kind of thin looking, that's happy. Oh, that's taking a deep breath there, kind of checking things out. But he's very interested in things. And he likes to be on the show. But yeah, those little sticks coming out of his neck there, those are actually bundled up new feathers, like baby feathers. And you're supposed to help them by like rubbing, they're like waxy tubes, kind of like, think of like an umbrella, and wrapped up around it is like this waxy thing. And you're supposed to like rub it off to help their new feathers come out, but he'll bite you. So you can't do that. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Robert. Hey, sorry for the name butchering about to happen. Yoretzi Rubio. Welcome in. Flawless Rage. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got 14 people, and that's good. See, there's some lives when we get like 7 people. And it's like, I enjoy hanging out with anybody. I can't believe anybody wants to even listen to me babble. And so does my wife. She really is bizarre. It's like, she's like totally weirded out by the fact that anybody has any interest in doing anything that is spending time with me, because it's honestly not that exciting. It's just like middle-aged crisis guy hanging out with people on the internet and playing with his toys. So yeah, Yoshi, aka Sean, aka Bird, Mr. Director of Photography. When he gets a little nervous, I'll hide behind my head. So you may see him peek out, and even though it looks kind of like I'm wearing weird, you know, headwear back there, it's not. It's just him. And I have another guest, which I'll introduce in a minute. She is resting comfortably. Jody Smith, what would you say is the best all-in-one that records directly from record to CD? Because I bought 3 different brands, but they make the recording sound tinny. So that's a good question. I've reviewed quite a few all-in-one units, but the record to CD capability is really a slightly older technology. I don't know if anybody's even doing that anymore. Maybe Crosley. Ironically, we've never even reviewed a Crosley all-in-one before. I don't think. But anyway, they're not really doing that anymore. What they're doing is the to MP3 capability. So if it doesn't just have a USB cable where you can hook it up to Audacity on your computer, a lot of them you can just plug in a thumb drive and record directly to a thumb drive. And it's, it's a lower quality thing. You got to keep in mind when it comes to all-in-ones, they're not designed for like a high quality sound experience. It's designed for a trendy, cool, convenient situation for you. So it's not, nobody's designing these things as high-end audio equipment. They're designing them as cool, functional players in, whatever they are. It's not like we're going to make like some super high-end deal that is going to compete with, the high-end stuff. So a lot of times people unfairly judge all-in-ones and suitcase players because they assume that that's the market. I guess I should move the microphone a little closer to me. By the way, I do have a candle down here. I don't know what kind of light it's casting on me, but I got a festive candle. Festive Noel candle. Smells good. Really getting into the holiday feels over here. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm not sure. All that to say, I don't know. The MP3 recording from all-in-ones is adequate. It's like 128K. It's not going to be like super high-end, unfortunately. If you want higher-end audio on a CD, what you really need to do is record the audio to a digital recorder. We reviewed a couple of them. The Zoom H2N has a line input capability and can record full uncompressed WAV files, as can the little $29 deal we reviewed about a week ago. It's a little tiny voice recorder, but has a line input and it records WAV. So you take the WAV and then you go into like Windows Media Player or something on a Mac for you Mac people, and you can burn your CDs that way, and that will give you true lossless quality. So I'm not sure what format the all-in-ones record those other ones at, blah, 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 blah. But hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. But best all-in-one, I really like the Victrola 6-in-1, the mid-century one. I also like the farmhouse-looking one we did a couple of days ago. It's a 4-in-1, so it doesn't quite have all of the capabilities of the 6-in-1. They do make a 6-in-1 with that look, but I like having the CD player and the tape player to somewhat of an extent as well. It's really cool though in the room when you have that. We have that in our bedroom upstairs, and it's really cool because you can turn all the lights off, and then the only light is the dial on that light, and it looks cool. It looks really cool at night. So, hey Paul, welcome in, welcome in. Paul, I believe you're from Australia. Welcome in. Wherever you guys are watching, give me a shout out with where you're watching from. I want to hear all about it. Owen, welcome in. What piece of equipment that you have reviewed or talked about is your favorite? Oh, I can't pick that. I can't pick. It's as evidenced by the fact that I have way too many things in my possession still that I have not, gotten rid of for, in one way or another. Yeah, the bird. This is Yoshi, AKA Sean. He is a green sheet canoer. We got him because he's supposed to be extra friendly and extra personable. He was originally, but he's been kind of pissed off ever since we separated him from his sister. We should have bought both, I guess. They're kind of expensive birds, like $350. It's actually a member of the budgie family, like parakeets, but it's he's bigger. He's about twice the size of a parakeet. You can see him side by side. So he's got a lot of attitude. He's a good boy. He's learned a couple of. He doesn't really speak English, but he can kind of make it sound like come here, and a couple things like that. So he's a character. But this is what you hear shrieking and beeping and cheeping off camera. Sometimes when it's really out of control, I'll take him to another room and or take him upstairs or something, because it can be annoying. It can be really annoying. But he loves music and he loves bobbing his head to it and stuff. And usually he does just fine. Anyway, he wanted to be on the show tonight for some reason. He told me that. So, okay, let's see. Comments coming in fast and furious. Welcome in, guys. Just informal, just hanging out. Don't have any major specific agenda. Sorry that the video is a little grainy. I'm using my good webcam. The light's a little low. I got all the lights on in this room, but it's still kind of grainy. Maybe I'm just spoiled by the 4K. By the way, thank you for enduring. Thank you for enduring the 4K that we've had experiment. Learning the 4K thing recently. We had a bad upload. If you're familiar with HDR video, which is what the Dolby Vision technology is based on. It's also used for photography as well. Basically, the way it works is it takes 3 images, an overexposed one, a regular exposure, and a low exposure, and blends them together. And the idea is the picture's more dynamic. Blackers are black, the whites are whiter, all that stuff. Everything is just sort of better in that regard. But what happened on this particular upload, it was the one of the reel-to-reel videos, is that for some reason it did this really weird thing where it just uploaded the overexposed layer. So I don't know why that was. So I've kind of backed down on the frame rate as well. So I've settled into 4K non-HDR at 30 frames. And I think that looks the best. And a lot of people say, well, it doesn't matter if you do 4K because I'm just watching YouTube's compression. Well, YouTube is compressing it, but you can actually, click on the little gear on your app, whether you're watching on a smart TV, on your smartphone, or a laptop. And if you click on the app, you can change the quality. And depending on your device, if your device can handle it, you can go up to 4K. Depends on the video has provided that, and if you can handle it as well. So if you are watching in like 177p and you're used to a super grainy look, treat yourself to a higher experience, because you can go up to, high def, 2K, 4K, whatever, and it really makes a difference. But I want to apply, quality in the production that will give everybody a good experience. I don't want you to have like an HDR TV in order to make that happen. Okay. Going up here, a lot of comments coming in. Welcome in, everybody. Share this out, by the way. If you share this out on your socials, on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, let's see how many people we can get into this. I would love to do that. I would love to hit 100 on the live stream. We've never gone up that high, which is really weird because I've seen channels that have, like a third of our subscribers get 150 people easy, but we are usually capping out right about here, about 24, 25. Which I appreciate. And if there's anybody that wants to listen to me ramble on, it's worth it. Okay, let's get on the comments here. Put your comments down below. Hello from New Jersey. Hey, John, welcome in from New Jersey. Joyzy. Owen is from Joy Noel. To you as well. Who's zooming who? I don't know. It's a good question. Your channel is great, Jem. Thank you very much. Flawless Rage is in the UK. Awesome. Welcome in. Got a lot of friends in the UK, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. Outside of the US, that's the #1 country for us, which is awesome. And I would love to go there someday. It's actually, people always ask me, if you go one place, I've never even left the country, but if I could, I've been to Hawaii. That doesn't really count. But if I could leave the country, if I could go visit anywhere, it would be the UK. I would love to see it. I'm a student of a lot of World War II history, not only military, but music history as well, with like Glenn Miller. And there's a lot of stuff over there, a lot of significance, things I would just love, love, love. Also, it'd be cool to see something that's more than 200 years old, because here in the States, things cap out. Actually, it's not true. It's a gross generalization, but you know what I mean. Okay. Hey, from Ohio, welcome in. Raymond Martin, New Hampshire. Something important has been happening in New Hampshire lately. I can't think of what it was. Owen says Ontario, Canada. I know that because I shipped you a record player once, I think, Owen. And, I get to thinking about that. I hope you didn't have to pay like VAT taxes to get that thing out. Are dollar bins worth the investment? Are you talking about records in the dollar bin? I would say yes. In fact, most of the records that I get are, thrift store records. And that's because the type of music I like, because I'm a geek and not cool or not popular or trendy, is what you find there. So Mitch Miller, sure. Glenn Miller, even better. I just, that's my kind of thing. I love that stuff. I love 50s, 60s, mood music, big band swing, popular vocalists and stuff. Now, I'm not saying I like everything there is at a thrift store. I mean, if I come across Judy Collins, for those of you that have been around for a while, the sound will happen. Dun, 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 dun. So that's my, not my nemesis. People get grouchy when I talk about it too, but I have my reasons. Just kidding. I don't really have any reasons. It's just kind of fun. But seriously, I've got I always come across Judy Collins almost every single time. And certain ones too. Jim Nabors, Barbra Streisand. We went through it in the video the other day about safe record hunting. We talked about some of the records you will see. Guaranteed you will see. If you can go to your local thrift store or charity shop in the UK and not see Mitch Miller, I would be very impressed. I would be very, very impressed. Have I seen the Sesame Street character picture disc? Oh my gosh, that Cracker Barrel is selling. Oh, don't tempt me. I have a thing for picture discs. By the way, if any of you feel led to send in anything for review, you can check out our P.O. Box address in the About tab on our channel. But seriously, if you do send anything in, we will review it. I saw some. I was in Cracker Barrel about a month and a half ago, and I did see some cool stuff. I don't know if that was one of them, but that's so cool. I would totally bite on that. I love vintage children's stuff like that. I would totally get. The problem is a picture disc are like $30, and every record should be cool. They should be colored vinyl. They should be picture disc. You know, and I know some people say they don't sound as good, but for all intents and purposes, everything that I'm doing, they're fine. I only have a couple picture discs. I need to have more, so you guys can experience more as well. My wife is probably shaking her head. No, you don't need any more. She would be wrong there. Very wise, but in that case, wrong, because we need more records. We need more records. She won't let me have any more sentiment. Quick. Okay, let's see here. Shout out from San Diego, California. Question: what are your thoughts about unwarping records? I've seen the 2-glass plate method where they sandwich the record in between and they bake it in the oven. So I know about what you speak, and I'm intrigued by it as well, because I too have warped records, don't we all? And I'm not allowed to do that in the oven right now. I don't think it would be a problem, because we've melted records into bowls, but that was facilitated by, you know, something else. So we did do that. By the way, like, I forget, was it 120 degrees or something? You put a record over a bowl with a cookie sheet underneath so it doesn't drip. And you can that vinyl softens right up, and you can just warp it and make a record bowl. But unwarping records with heat, I think that would work fine. Also, there's this cool thing. It's called the record press or something like that. It's like a guy just selling these weighted, or they're metal plates, and you screw it together, and then I think you do bake that. I would love to experiment with that. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. I've, you know, for minor warpage and stuff, I've gotten a little bit of benefit from just stacking records, you know, tightly packed in not vertically, but like on the shelf, or I don't know what this is, but so you can see it in my hands, because down here you can't see, which is good. Okay. What's your favorite turntable needle? So the styli, first of all, you can't hear a difference between sapphire and diamond styli. It doesn't matter what the material is when it comes to sound. It's just common sense. If it's sapphire, if it's diamond, it's not going to sound any different. You're not listening to the material. The material is withstanding the heat and the vibration and the what do you call it? Friction of playing a record and translating those vibrations into sound. It's not like the tip is a microphone. So why do we say upgrade to diamond, upgrade to diamond, upgrade to diamond? Talking mostly about ceramic cartridges that come with a cheapo styli. Just because they're more durable. Diamond being the hardest substance on Earth, it's going to last longer. Somewhere in the range of 1,000 plays versus somewhere in the range of 100 for a sapphire, aka ruby. That's why they're reddish tip styli. Not going to sound any different, but if you do have a metal cantilever versus a plastic one, that could impede the sound or impact the sound, depending on how compliant that cantilever is. Cantilever is a tiny little pole that the needle or the stylus is on. And we've done shows about this as well. You want to learn more about styli, needles and stuff, check those out. There's 2 different basic kinds of needles or styli. Those are bonded, which is most common. And basically what that means is, if you imagine the needle being a triangular point, most of that is metal, except for the very tip, very tiny tip is a piece of diamond or ruby or whatever. It's not necessary for that whole thing to be diamond in order for it to work. This is the needle upside down in the groove. But there's something called a nude stylus and people swear they'll hear the difference. They'll swear, oh yeah, you can hear a nude. On anything I've ever listened to, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you the difference. But a nude stylus, the entire stylus point is diamond. It's obviously a little more diamond. Again, it's so minuscule, it's not going to matter cost-wise. the people making it, but nude is the entire thing, and bonded is what most of us listen to on. That being said, when it comes to cartridges, which is where you get a little bit more, there's more to listen to. There's more impact to the sound, I would say, by the cartridge. A lot of people like the Ortofon 2M Red. I can never remember if it's 2M Red or OM Red. I think it's 2M Red. The 2M Red or the 2M Blue. I haven't heard the blue, but I have had the red. I no longer own it. I think it sounded great. If I took that versus an Audio-Technica 3600L side by side, could I notice a difference? Maybe tiny bit. Again, what are you listening to? Are you listening on $100,000 speakers? Maybe it would be a lot more noticeable. For me, I'm listening on speakers that are less than $500. So maybe I wouldn't notice it. Maybe most people wouldn't notice it. A lot of people may not know this as well. The 2M Red versus the 2M Blue, it's literally what I was just talking about. It's the exact same cartridge. The little blue piece of plastic, which is, holds the stylus, or red one, it's just a difference between bonded or nude. So the red is bonded and the blue is nude, and they're both elliptical. And that's another thing too, is the cut. What is the shape of the actual tip of the stylus? Is it conical, which is most common, and just a singular round point, like a ballpoint pen? Or is it, elliptical, where it's tapered in shape? There's Shibata, there's all kinds of different ones. Again, people swear by this stuff. That being said, to answer your question about sound, I actually have grown fond of the Grados. The Grado Black, my wife's, she has one of the, she has the ultraviolet turntable from U-Turn. It's a gorgeous turntable, limited edition. I don't think they make it anymore. And it has just a Grado Black, which is one of their baseline ones. It sounds great. I say that sounds better to me than the Ortofon Red series. It's warmer. It's a little bit more, just warmer is the best way to describe it. Some people think it sounds muddied compared to the Ortofons. Ortofons are a little harsher, and I have also my best, highest end stylus is like a $260 Grado Gold Prestige 2, and that does sound noticeably different. And that was just on like a LP120X USB, not on a super high end turntable. And it sounds just like that is noticeable between that and an Audio-Technica 3600. Definitely noticeable. Okay, enough of the speech. Sorry about that. Okay, shout out from San Diego. You did that. Green Doggo Wisdom. Why is your dog on your hand? Why is my dog on my hand? I don't think my dog is on my hand. My bird? This bird? He's on my hand sometimes. Yoshi, just visiting. Vinyl flat. That's what it was. Yep, vinyl flat. It looks like they're custom made. I'd love to check it out. I've written to the guy. I haven't heard anything back. I would definitely like to do something. Oh, wow, I'm really far behind on comments. Okay, enough rambling for me. I'm just going to go through and answer comments, questions, get them in below. Share it out on socials, guys, if you can. While we're doing this real quick, I promise I'll wait. Just go ahead and do that now. I'm going to take a drink. While I'm drinking, go ahead and share this out. Tell everyone. See how many people we can get over. If we get over 100, that'd be awesome. And a thumbs up too, so the algorithm knows that we're having fun. Oh gosh, and I really appreciate you guys being here. I know you've got better things to do, and I appreciate you making time to be on the show. So definitely thank you for being here. That sound might have given away my guest because she's no longer sleeping. Stay tuned; she will be on the show. Okay, let's see. Where you put and what do you do with all the stuff you reviewed? I have a leasing partnership with logistics companies where multi-million-dollar warehouses throughout the United States are quickly piling up with boxes and boxes and boxes of product, and we're running out of room. So it's a problem where we really need to stop. I'm just kidding. It depends. Some stuff it's sold, some stuff is kept. More than not, it's kept. I like to get stuff that we can put into practice on the show and really use more than once, and really invest in stuff. Huh?
Some stuff goes to charity.
Oh yeah, we donate to charity, especially during this time of the year. We donated a bunch of boom boxes and stuff to some children's charities last year. Trying to find people in need and, gifts, and everybody I know has a record player, whether they want one or not, all that kind of stuff. Besides that, my wife is extremely patient. Let's see here. And what do I do for work outside of YouTube? I'm a bird keeper, a dog keeper, and housekeeper, a keeper. I'm a keeper of keepers. Housekeeper. Then why aren't the dishes clean? I like birds. Had a cocktail who said, "Pretty bird, come here." Is that the kind where they like tilt their head down and do this kind of action? That's cool. I love birds. Jody says, "Have you seen this?" I already read that. Why am I? Sorry guys, I'm having a hard time. It's like refreshing and then I lose my place. Record Crate says, "Hi, I'm inviting you to be a guest on Coffee and Vinyl. It's a daily vinyl record show to discuss from time to time." Yeah, send me an email. Look into it. See if I can find an open slot in my keeping activities. The bird's been keeping me busy lately. Been keeping me busy. But no, I'd love to. I've done one or two of those radio shows before, so I'd love to do that. Was born in London in World War II. That's awesome, Raymond. That's really cool. Live on your channel every morning. That's cool, Record Crate. That's a cool name too, by the way. Jack Strax Records say, "Hey everyone, welcome in, welcome in." Owen says, "I had to pay about 55 Canadian dollars for the import duty." Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's one of the reasons why we don't do the international giveaways anymore. It's tough because it's tough. You know what I mean? I want to be able to just evenly give away things, and it's hard not to be able to because of things like that. It can be very expensive, and the best way to do it is to partner with, rather than, me personally shipping things. It's better to work. And last time around we work with different vendors who were more than happy to support, the channel and, send out some product and stuff like that. I'm always working to expand that, but I want things to be, I want everybody to enjoy it all at once. So I'm trying to figure out better ways to do that in the future. But I had a feeling you had to do that. And then I forgot to put the power supply in. So I sent the one thing UPS and the other thing US mail. So I apologize for that. But I'm glad you like it. That's a really cool unit. It's been a successful and very, very cool unit. Raymond says, "Just ordered the last copy of 1974 Rock Your Way Baby by George McRae." That's awesome. I like to collect storybook records from Disney and movies. Me too. I think those are really cool. And if you can find one that's not scratched up, then you're doing good. Michael says, "Have you ever bought records from Discogs?" I don't think I have. And I don't quite know how it works. I see the prices look really good, but I'm not sure about the shipping and stuff. I mostly go on there to research matrix numbers to find out when records were made.
Somebody wants to know, what's the movie that you quote the most?
What's the movie I quote the most? So when my wife and I first married, she realized soon, to her horror, that 80 to 90% of what I said was not really, my thoughts. They were truly movie quotes. And my family is like that. We just quote movies. I think we go over there and visit them and we don't even say real words anymore. We're just quoting things. At least one of them is going to be National Lampoon something or other. I don't know what, but man, movies I like to quote. Seriously, for some reason, it's like National Lampoon stuff or comedy stuff. I just love it. I love doing that. I don't know why I like doing that. I make too much sound. I hear stuff I think it's funny and I parrot it back, and yeah, I annoy people. That's what I do. Jesse, you have the vinyl flat? That's cool. Have I ever bought records from Discogs? Wolf Aspen Prince. Wolf Aspen _ Prince. Hello. I like your bird. Yep, that's Yoshi, who's hiding because he's somewhat shy. Yoshi's a green cheek canoer. He has the squeaking, cheeping sound you hear on the show most episodes. He's a pretty good boy. Oh, he's looking at that camera. Yeah, he's a good boy. Problem with the bird is he's got like a 10-minute poop timer. So I'm a little nervous what the back of my shirt looks like right now. And he's good at dropping and hanging. So I'm a little nervous when I stand up because he's got about a 10-minute poop timer. You get him out of the cage, you're playing with him. If he lasts too long, you could have a gift. And you don't want these kinds of gifts. No, he's good. Wolf Aspen Prince, can I please have a shout out to my YouTube channel? Absolutely. I hope it's a good, decent channel because there you go. Yeah, packing records between other records, it helps a little bit. It takes time, but it does beat the high price of stuff. And I'm always looking about, affordable ways. And that does help, unwarp stuff a little bit. Let us see. Raymond says, famous World War II Spitfire plane pilot was my neighbor in an apartment building after World War II in London. Douglas Bader, Reach for the Sky book and movie. I might have read that. I've read a lot of World War II books. That's really neat. I'll look into that. Thank you very much for that. Neil lives in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome in. Welcome in. I really appreciate you being here. Wolf Aspen _Prince. Love your channel. I'm a record collector. So glad to have you guys here.
What's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack? Everything. I like everything. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Snack. It'd be a shorter list of things I don't like. That's the problem. I have 2 Kiss records. That's cool. Are they picture discs or are they just regular ones? If I'm missing a comment, I apologize. Ortofons, cheaper carts are good. Yeah, they are good, absolutely. And I love the DJ series carts. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that look like pointing fingers. You know what I mean? I've got the DJ, which is the blue and orange one. So I have their mid-range one. And even though they're designed for scratching and cueing and DJ work and stuff, it's a cool cart because it's also the stylus and the cart are it's the head shell as well. You just plug it right into the tone arm. If you have an S-shaped tone arm, I think you could do it on a J-shaped tone arm too. You can't do it but I think those are really, really cool. When I reviewed those, they were very specific about what record player I was going to put it on. And the plan was to put it on the Audio-Technica LP120X USB to demo. And they were like, well, we'd really rather not do a hand-pinned turntable because, again, if you've watched any of my videos, you probably know this, but a lot of record players are hand-pinned turntables in China, including most Audio-Technicas, most Crosleys, all made by the same company. It's not a bad thing. It is what it is. But that's, that they were okay with it in the end because it is a good turntable. But there was some discussion about that. Little behind the scenes for you there. 33 RPM, that's cool. Crosley, which one? Which Crosley do you have? Tell me again. I'm sorry, I think it went down wrong. It says COE or CEO SE Cruiser? Crosley Cruiser. Yeah, that's a great starting point. Nothing wrong with it. You won't get any grief from us on this channel about that. It's a great starting point. I have suitcase players as well. Steve says, excellent under the right conditions. Had the Ortofon Red on my Denon DP300F turntable. Does sound good. However, it rides too low no matter what my adjustment is. Interesting. Steve says, do you feel that the high-res streaming can ever equal CD sound? I've heard a little bit about high-res streaming. The problem is the whole point of why streaming and before that MP3s were so popular is that most people don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's good enough. I mean, if for people if you've ever listened to internet radio or specifically satellite radio, Sirius XM and stuff like that, the sound quality is horrendous for even, I think, anybody with a little bit of an ear. And I don't have that good of an ear when it comes to perceiving compression, but it's so compressed. We're talking I think it's like 4 megs for the entire bit stream of all their channels. So every individual channel was like 88 kilobits per second in lossy compression, which I'm trying to think of what compression algorithm they run. I've read about it once. But anyway, like on classical music, dynamic music, everything's crushed on the high end. But again, people buy it, so it must be okay, right? And so streaming audio, Apple Music, it is lossy, but it's really efficient, well done compression. I personally don't think it's going to take off. because yes, technically it is, and those of us that would really appreciate the idea of streaming high res, and now that data speeds are faster with 5G, even LTE, and Wi-Fi speeds. People have 150 meg download Wi-Fi in their house and stuff. Cable, fiber internet. I just think that the average consumer, most people, it's totally fine. It's totally fine to have that lossy compression. So it'll either be a niche market, but I don't know if that's going to be able to fund itself. I personally think it's not going to last. I do prefer nude, hyper-elliptical, 0.2 and 0.7 mil or Shibata on my turntables. Crosley Cruiser. Will Crosley Cruiser destroy records? No, they won't destroy your records. That's a common misconception. A lot of people think that Crosley Cruisers destroy records. They don't. Neither do all-in-ones. Most record players don't. There's been a couple of players that we've reviewed that actually do cause some damage. Actually, 2. And that's it. Go back and look at our videos to figure out which ones they are. But 99% of everything, it's not going to damage anything. The whole reason why they say that is they say that the arm is too heavy on the record so that it's wearing it out. And it's measured in, come down for another look, in grams. So grams? Is it grams? Sorry, guys. I go into like brain shock mode when I'm live. I forget half of my vocabulary. But anyway, the basic idea is that it is, it's too heavy. And it's not, though, because records are designed to withstand, a lot than a lot of people put on them. So there's a lot of debate about that. It'll wear the record out a little bit faster, but are you going to notice it? Unless you're listening to your record like every day for, hours and hours on end, I would argue you probably won't notice. What are we doing? So no, that's a misconception. They're not going to damage your vinyl at all. They'll just wear slightly faster, but you won't notice. Yeah. There's a whole. Oh, you want to talk in the mic now? Okay, so he's going to talk in the mic. Oh, now we're microphone shy. Okay. Now we're not going to talk into the mic. Greetings from Brazil. Welcome in, welcome in. Whoa, what am I doing? These buttons are way too tiny. Sorry, guys, just trying to get caught up here. Put a comment down below. I'll get to you. I promise. Thanks for that. It's in hi-fi. Record arm leveler. I still use it all the time. That's cool. Glad you enjoy. You got your RSD3 Sun Records Edition and records. So I have heard that there is more Johnny Cash coming out. I have so for 3-inch record players, I've got the RSD3, and I've got the Crosley Mini Cruiser, and I've got the RSD 2020. And Music Public Kingdom, the name cracks me up. People's Republic of Music Kingdom, MPK also is making some 3-inch players. I talked to my contacts at Victrola. They have no interest right now in doing 3-inch records. Very interesting story. Again, if you want to learn these stories rather than repeat them endlessly, go check out some of my videos on 3-inch records. But I've met with the people that were behind that whole project and initiative, and really cool. It was really cool. I knew about the what's the records they came out with that we heard about at CES, but we couldn't say it. The one that he likes. Tattoo Face. What's his name? Says how much I like. Post Malone. Yeah. So we knew about the Post Malone stuff back in January. But anyway, so to answer your question, I got the 4 Sun record releases. Did a show about that. You wouldn't believe the engineering that goes into even the spacer on the 3-inch record players. Like there's 2 different iterations of that. And I talked at length, like an hour-and-a-half phone call with Crosley's Deer Park Distributors. That's really, doing a lot of that stuff. Just about the design of the spacer, because it's very important, how that thing, engaged the record rim from the inside. but I've heard there's more coming out, and that's why I'm asking you. So let me know. What have I missed? I love Yoshi. Oh, and yay, he's cool. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. How old are you about? I don't know, about 2010, 2011-ish. Okay, he's done being on the camera right now. He's a good boy. Omar's from South Texas. Top 3 must-have records, and that's so personal to every individual, and I'm sure nobody would share mine because they'd all be like big band stuff. You know what record I was turned on to by my friend Fardamark, fellow YouTuber, was this amazing record, and it's first in a series called One Stormy Night. One Stormy Night? Yeah, I think it's One Stormy Night. I love that thing. Oh, he's on. Hey, Fardamark. You have a green parakeet. Cool. Yeah, this is a monster parakeet. It is a green cheek caneur. He's a beast. But anyway, I love that thing. I listen to that almost every single day. And, it's, nature sounds, a storm, a train mixed with like mood music. And then there's One Stormy Weekend. There's like a bunch of them. There's great music. That's a gotta have for me now. I love discovering that stuff. New favorites. Scott sent me a C6 for my main store. C6 is cool. We did that a long time ago. That's a cool one. Can I put a red Ortofon on a Crosley Cruiser? No, because the Cruisers and the all-in-ones that have the red tip stylus, most of those are ceramic, and that's a different technology than a magnetic cartridge. Again, check out the videos we've done explaining that in detail, just because it'll explain it better than I can conjure up at this moment. But it's a totally different technology. Basically, a ceramic cartridge outputs line level voltage and therefore doesn't need to preamp in order to connect or be amplified into speakers, whereas a magnetic requires another circuit to get it from my lower level up to line level, and so it costs more. So there you go. That's why they don't do it. Any recommendations on headphone earbuds? Did a show on those two. I'm sorry I keep saying we did a show, but a lot of people don't realize some of the stuff we've done before. Headphones, I love my Grotto Bluetooth wireless ones. I think they're the GW100s. And usually I just plug them in direct. I don't use a Bluetooth. Not because it doesn't sound good. It sounds great, but I just usually go direct. And sound fantastic. They're open back, so they have a completely wide sound stage. It sounds like you're in a room with speakers versus having speakers stuck to the side of your head. But amazing quality and really affordable too. They've got a couple of really cool headphones I've been wanting to review. They have these hemp ones. It's like a hemp and mahogany blend wood, I think, but really cool stuff. So earbuds, I have my main pair of earbuds because I finally upgraded my phone. I was on an iPhone 6S up until a couple of weeks ago, and now I have an iPhone 12. So that's my first time that I don't have a headphone jack. So I've been forced to do Bluetooth, and I've been using these Walmart. They're like $25, $30 AirPod, not want to say knockoffs, but highly inspired by them. They work fine. They're perfect for that. If I want to do some serious listening, I'll listen to the Grados on something else or whatnot, or I'll listen on speakers. But yeah, I'm not super particular. We had some Audio Technica earbuds. They're really cool. They're in-ear ones though, and I don't like in-ear ones as well. They always squirt out. It drives me nuts. I'm not a big fan of the in-ear earbuds. It's my ears. It's not the technology that's the problem. But I do better with a regular old school one. Do we have a question on the?
Yeah. Do you like museums?
I do love museums. I love museums.
If so, what's your favorite?
Oh man, when we went to the in Washington, all the Smithsonian museums are just incomparable. Went to several Titanic exhibits, including one in Branson, Missouri, that's in an actual Titanic 50% scale building. They have another one in near Dollywood in Tennessee as well. Just super cool. But I've seen like the big piece from the side of the ship, the whole, all kinds of artifacts. I love that stuff. I'm a big student of history. In fact, if I'm not doing this kind of stuff, which I like the history aspect of it, I'm quite confidently spending my time doing something history related. What is record for a record player dragging? Do you mean like left to right, like it's skipping across the grooves? Grams. Okay, it is grams. I sound like I don't know anything about anything, but back to the topic of tracking force. So, depending on the stylus, if you're using an elliptical stylus, you need to be in the 1 point. Okay.
Or whatever. I keep writing strange things like potatoes, fun.
Oh, really? Okay, got it. Okay. Just a little administrative thing. I did. So anyway, if you're using an elliptical or Shibata, you have to be tracking light. You can't, be putting a lot of pressure. But if you have like an all-in-one unit with a ceramic cartridge, you're going to have a conical stylus. The conical stylus can track heavier. Now, there's debate about this. I've heard that records were designed to withstand between 6 to 9 grams of force. So a all-in-one suitcase player, all-in-one, or a suitcase player will track at about 5.4, 5.5 grams, and that's fine. It's not going to damage. It's going to wear a little bit faster, but not that bad. So it's really dependent on what the manufacturer of the cartridge and stylus recommends. But typically on the LP7, I'm tracking, I think, 2 grams, and the LP3, or 2.5, 2, something like that, and about the same on the LP3. But that's dictated by the cartridges we're running. But the short answer is it's not going to damage your records. Children 7-inch record, that's cool. I love that stuff. There's a lot of geometry. There really, really is. And so, we've done shows before about, there I go again, sorry. We've done shows before about the vertical tracking alignment, about, all of the, is the tone arm level, if it's coming up or down on the record, if it's not level with the record, then you're going to have issues. A lot of people, sorry, candle go out over here. A lot of people, you get to the Michael Framer level of record enthusiasm, and you're looking at things under microscopes. It's a really different, subset of this hobby than what we're definitely specializing in the entry level. Unabashedly, unashamedly, we do the entry level, and we're happy to do it. That being said, yes, there are, we have touched on a few record players that, where you really do need to make VTA alignments. And obviously, if you're putting on a new cartridge and whatnot, you need an alignment protractor. You need to take a look at things like that. Is the azimuth correct? All of that stuff. I remember a time in the 70s on our cheap little record players putting a penny or a dime on the tone arm. Yeah, and and people say that they'll put a penny on. Penny will add 2.5 grams. So if you're already at 5.5 on a suitcase player, you're going up in the upper reaches of the territory. But again, some people say it's fine. Other people swear to you that 5 grams will destroy a record. And it really, there's so many factors: what quality of vinyl they're using, what weight it is, what kind of stylus, is the stylus damaged, what the cut of the stylus. You could just go crazy with it. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever you want to do, it's fine. I don't like it when people have a mindset of, oh, you have to do this, you should be doing that, or you're wrong. Like, it matters. It's a hobby. We're playing spinning plastic in a circle and get sound off. It's just for fun. You know what I mean? So just have fun with it. You can look at guidelines and kind of understand why things are happening, but just, people don't take it too seriously. That's really my advice, especially if you're doing like thrift store crate digging like I do a lot of the time. That being said, on the skipping issue, which I get questions a lot about that, usually it's that tone arm lift in the back. When you lower the cueing lever down, the tone arm lift sometimes doesn't lower out all the way, so the tone arm is still kind of being held up too high. And so if you take the tone arm lift in the back and just push it down, that really helps with the skipping. You don't even need the penny in that regard. Although some people swear by the penny, and it's been, like you said, it's been done for decades. Third Man RSD3. No, I don't have that one. My RSD3 is the plain Jane one. No, my only RSD3. Hey, Owen, thank you, dude. That's awesome. Owen is awesome. Super chat. Never expected. Always appreciated. Goes to help support the show. Lets me know that you care, and I really appreciate it. Owen, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Have a good night, man. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate that.
Question is, do you have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos. But the person that I'm going to introduce to you now does. I'm not going to show you the tattoo. That'd be rude. Oh, I just woke her up. Say hello to Kiki. She's really mad because I just woke her up. This is Kiki. She's a good girl. She's a rescue dog. Yeah. Denver Dumb Friends League. She had a hard life, and she is very skittish, very protective. She'll destroy anybody that comes around the house that's not supposed to. One time she went for my mom's ankles, and it was bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. She's fearless. She doesn't care that she's 6 pounds. She will destroy you. She'll rip your face off and eat it like a pizza. That being said, she's really sweet. She has a tattoo because she was spayed, and they give a little tiny tattoo on their tummies to so they're identifiable of having them. Hey, you gonna be here too with your brother? She's kind of annoyed right now. She's a good girl. Okay. A shaped tone arm or straight do you prefer? I don't really have a preference. Bartemark says vintage portables from the 50s averaged 8 grams, so Crosley's are nowhere near as high. That is correct. Bartemark also says they tend to install newer cartridges and just bring to about 6 grams. And you know, sometimes you guys, tracking too light is worse than tracking too heavy. And it certainly impacts the sound. Like if you set the tracking force too low, thinking you're just saving your records, that may not be the case. Because the record is, the needle's designed to rest down in that groove. And if it's up too high, it may be putting force on the wrong part of the groove wall. Well, I got to get back to the base work. Thank you so much, guys. If you have to jump, just thank you for being there. For those of you just joining us, welcome in. We're just hanging out. The dime weighs less than a penny. That's a good point. Hi, ferocious little dog. She can be ferocious, but she's a good girl. Yeah, she is. She can't look at camera. She has no idea. Like if I held her up here. In fact, here, Kiki, we're going to look at the camera now. Okay. Look at the camera. See, she looks past it. She can't see it. I think she's farting on me, so that's awesome. And the bird, they get jealous of each other. So we start talking to Yoshi, then she'll show up and want attention and vice versa. She knows she's not supposed to eat him. Like not one time, it happens all the time. Like he'll fly down because he likes to sit on top of his cage because it's too boring to be in your cage. So he's got a pretty big cage. And he'll fly down, just see him walking down the hallway, going up some stairs, hopping, descending, whatever. And she'll look really stressed out, like what's going on? And like she's like, Dad, Mom, the bird's out of its cage. And I didn't eat him. So that's always good when she avoids that. Okay, guys. Do we have any comments from the earlier post? Let me know any comments you guys have. I think I got caught up. What's my favorite Duke Ellington album? Oh, my gosh. Do we have any?
What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you?
I'll get to Duke Ellington in a minute. The weirdest thing that's ever happened to me? How much time do you have? I got stories. I mean, you got all night? I could be. What's the weirdest? I don't know if I can. Geez, what has happened that is family friendly and weird? I'm actually not that exciting. What is the weirdest thing? Okay. One time I had Glenn Miller's son in my car. That was kind of weird. That's a long story, but basically in the process, back in the 90s, I was trying to put together a Glenn Miller website because the reason why I'm into that kind of music is I was into like Megadeth, Sir Mix-a-Lot, rap, rock, very intense stuff. And I noticed it was impacting, for me, again, personal opinion, this doesn't need to be for you, this is just me. It was impacting my quality of life because was for me very negative music, and I noticed it impacting my persona and the way I felt about life. And I literally, you know, I'm a person of faith, so I pray, and I was praying, I wanted to make changes in my life that would impact the way I felt and whatnot. And I realized that the music is a big impact, which I still believe music is a huge impact. It's a universal language. And I decided to forklift my entire. Oh, my battery's running low, so we're gonna have to cut it quits here in a little bit. I got 22 minutes of battery. I decided to forklift, get rid of all my music, and start over again. Now, for a while, I was listening to nothing but big band. The reason why I picked big band music in 1940s and 50s music is, to me, it was peaceful. It was peaceful. There was no violence. There was no sex. There was no, things that were leading to me feeling, stressed and, agitated. And it really helped calm my spirit and calm myself down. And I've dealt with anxiety, as many of us have, for years. And that was a big change. For a while, I didn't listen to anything besides big band. Glenn Miller was the number one I latched onto. And I've added other music types back, and now I like a little bit of everything. I don't have any Megadeth anymore, but I like most music. But anyway, in the process of really digging in, learning about big band and falling in love with that kind of music and that culture, I contacted RCA, Sony, about getting licensing to do a Glenn Miller website. But one thing led to another. Pretty soon I'm driving around Boulder with Glenn Miller's son in my car. And Glenn Miller, you can say maybe it must be old, because Glenn Miller, passed away in 1944. And he was an infant when Glenn died. So anyway, favorite Duke Ellington album. Gosh, I don't know if there's a specific one album. At first I thought, don't attack me for this. It's just my opinion. I've learned better. But at first I didn't like Duke Ellington as much as I did, some of the other bands. I really like Lionel Hampton. I like Benny Goodman. Love Glenn Miller. But over the last couple of years, I've really grown to appreciate the fact that Duke Ellington's skill was so much more broad than just big band. Classical, sacred music, secular music, jazz. And really, like Duke Ellington says, good music doesn't even have a name. You know what I mean? If it's good music, it's just good music. It doesn't have to be jazz or whatnot. I don't know if there's a certain album I really love. There is a video on YouTube from, I think, the early 60s of him playing Mood Indigo, but it's an alternate arrangement. And if that thing has 1 million views, half of them have to be mine. I just love that. I just love it, love it, love it. So I can't pick a specific album. I've got, I think, 1 or 2 Duke Ellington records. I need more. They're like 7-inch EP records. I need more. Would you do a video on record dusting brushes? Absolutely. We've done a lot of reviews of different brushes, carbon fiber and non-carbon fiber, from a couple different manufacturers. Check out, if you search our channel for cleaning, you'll see a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I love, every time I play a record, I usually run a felt brush over it and a carbon fiber. That really helps to, just kind of do a light cleaning. How many CDs do I own? Not a ridiculous amount, maybe 200 to 300-ish. For a long time, I went to streaming. I never planned to look back on anything physical, media-wise. And now I'm glad I retained most of my stuff. Although, like an idiot, I threw away most of my jewel cases, and most of my CDs now are just in sleeves, which I really regret doing. Since you like big bands, do you prefer the original version or the Time Life Swing Era versions? That's a good question. I always prefer the originals. I have one of the box sets of the Time Life Swing Era. I'm okay with reproduction stuff. I love the new Glenn Miller Orchestra. They're fantastic. But typically, I like the original. I found that whatever you listen to first is usually your favorite. Same thing with books and movies. People always say, oh, the book was way better than the movie. Well, for me, it's like whatever. If I read the book first, then I like that. If I watch the movie first, I like that. A lot of that music is very, sorry, I'm losing track again. All right. I'm going to try and wrap it up here, guys, within the next 5-10 minutes because I'm losing battery. Got 17 minutes left of battery. And we've got an hour, which I really appreciate hanging out with you guys. Since you like big, all of that music is very negative. Big bands is very calming to me. For me personally as well, although I've had people say death metal to them is very calming, so I don't want to shoot that down. Are you familiar with Command records? I've got some Command performance records. I think those are the ones that are on 35 millimeter film. Those are really cool. Some people say they're great. I like them myself. Steve says the type of records you can really enjoy no matter what the music is. Count Basie even did a few on that label. Love Count Basie. Enoch Light. Love Enoch Light. That's some amazing stuff. Some quadraphonic records of Enoch Light. It's like surround sound even with 2 speakers. It's amazing. Makeup Brush is the best. Like the on-record ones. I have one of those on my LP120.
Would you rather fight 1 cow-sized duck or 50 duck-sized cows?
Would I rather fight 1 cow-sized duck or 50 duck-sized cows? Gosh, one time I had a duck land on me. That was another, you want weird stories about me? One time I was at this park and there was this baby duck, like a chick. Yeah, I guess we call it chick. Falling down this little waterfall. And the bird just fluttered. I didn't break wind, just in case you're wondering what that sound was. Just fluttered his tail feathers. He likes this story. He likes this part because it's funny. Listen what happens. So he's peeking because he wants to see what happens. This little baby duck fell off the waterfall. I'm like, here, little ducky, I'll help you. Put it back on there. All of a sudden, this duck from hell lands on my shoulder. Caw! Starts pounding the side of my head. It's his favorite part. I'm like, what is going on? She was attacking me because she thought I was hurting the baby. So that was a regular-sized duck. So I don't know if I can handle a cow-sized duck. But if there was 50 duck-sized cows, they're pretty slow anyway. I'm going to go with 50 duck-sized cows. Although that's what stuff Nightmare's made out of. I just think of a lot of little cheeseburgers. Oh, anyway. I have an album with Bobby Hackett of Glenn Miller fame. Awesome. I have 1 or 2 of those as well. Segatari, welcome in. Andy, can you do all 45? Can I do 45 RPM records, please? Like a show on 45s? It's been a long time since we did that. So yeah, let's do something about it. The design of a 45 wide has a big hole for those in the US, but not in the UK. Why the hub is thicker than the edge. You know, why it exists to begin with. I use a makeup brush too. That was my very first record brush. I talked to my wife, and actually I had seen this on the Victrola guy. It was a major early influence for me. He says just grab your wife's makeup brush, preferable if you ask her first. So I took an old makeup brush, and it worked really good to do some dusting. But then when I tried she bought me a Crosley brush, like an actual felt brush, like a wet dry brush. Once I tried that, probably because she wanted me to stop messing with her makeup tools. But once I tried that, I couldn't go back to the makeup brush because there's the ability to have it not just move the dust, which I feel like a makeup brush does, but to have it retain it and pull it off was key. And that's one of the things I like about dry wipe on a felt brush. Does a pretty good job. Do I like Dean Martin? Yes, I do. I love Dean Martin. I've got a great Rat Pack multi-disc set. I think it's on blue vinyl. I got it in the airport out at CES much earlier this year. That seems like a lifetime ago. Duke Ellington, Masterpiece is a great record, wonderful version of Mood Indigo. You know, it's testament to the music quality. You never see them in thrift stores. I would love to get it. I love Mood Indigo. I love all that stuff. I got a really cool Duke Ellington CD, which is some of his remote radio broadcast, I think from the Cotton Club, if I'm not mistaken. I love that stuff. Command really pushed the stereo format's boundary, especially for the time. Yeah, because they did the recording on film, magnetic tape strips on cellulite film. Cellulite? Yeah, cellulite. Is cellulite film, or is that what I have on my thighs? Okay. Cellulose? Anyway, film. It's not nitrate film, because that's the explosive kind. Favorite cassette player? For quality, audio quality-wise, my $10 thrift bought Panasonic is great. I love it. I had a Sony with Dolby S, but the mechanics, the drive mechanism was celluloid. Okay, thank you. So I got a cellulite one. I don't know about you. It's lumpy. Oh, brother. I literally, my vocabulary drops significantly when I'm doing a show. I'm actually maybe not a smart person, but less dumb than I appear in real life. Do I like Dean Martin? Yes. A craft store paintbrush helps too. That's a good idea. Jean-Jacques Perry made a version called Moon Indigo. That's cool. Thank you, Larry Celluloid. Yes. Enoch Light founded Command. Oh, yeah. That's right. Secretary, about how many records do you have in your collection? 10-inch shellac records, 7-inch singles, or 12-inch LPs? I don't want to give it away exactly because either you'll be impressed or you will be, like, this guy is not worth even watching. I have a few crates of records. It's growing. It has a tendency to grow. The 78s live in the Feedanola phonograph because it's got some shelving in there. I know it's not the best way to do it because it's horizontal, but I don't have an infinite amount of storage because some of the house needs to remain house stuff, not just, Record-ology stuff. But I add one or two here and there. Every week or two, I get a record or two. So I love doing that. Again, cheap ones. I just like, fun, cheap record. Like this week, I was really excited to find a Rosemary Clooney record. It was like $2, but I loved it. Compu videos, welcome in. Haven't saw the record plays or review. Get that question a lot, a couple times on this show. We donate to charity. We sell. We donate. We keep. Record inner sleeves helps keep dust off records. Yeah, agreed. We use the Hudson Hi-Fi inner sleeve and outer sleeves a lot. Good rice paper base, anti-static. Again, we reviewed all of that. By the way, somebody told me once they were freaking out because they saw modified versions of our videos on the Hudson Hi-Fi Amazon page. They actually hire us to produce their Amazon videos, so I produce those on purpose for them. The good news is that the products we get to review on this channel as well. Jean-Jacques Perry. Jean-Jacques Perry? Now I don't remember how I said it. Was the Rosemary Clooney record done with Nelson Riddle? I don't know. It's Clooney Tunes, which is a 1957 release of children's music. I would love to find more. I really, really would.
Your favorite color?
Favorite color is orange. She's being really good. She's just like sleeping over here. All right, guys. An hour and 7 minutes. And we have had a blast. If you're just joining and you want more of this content, just stay tuned for these notifications. I try to go live as much as possible. I love doing it when it fits into the schedule, and on nights when I don't have anything specific that I can share or that's ready to go on a regular video. I just love hanging out with you guys. I wish we could do the lives every day. It's just fun. I love talking. People don't know how I can just keep blabbing, but it's a gift or a curse. And it feels like a conversation to me. Record crate, call me Carson. Okay, Carson. What can you say about the music of Oasis? I think I probably know one Oasis song and I liked it. Thinking of the 90s. Oh, Larry, yeah, it could have been. Oh, and the friendship between Rosemary Clooney and Bing Crosby, I love that. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love White Christmas. I love all that stuff. I love the YouTube videos, Rosemary Clooney and Bing Crosby singing, together, and sometimes Frank Sinatra's in there as well. Awesome. Okay, guys, 1 minute, final questions. Put them in down below right now. I'll do a final round, and then we will say goodnight to you. And thank you so much for being here. And yeah, it was really fun hanging out. 1 minute. Put your comments, questions down below. And now, in a theatrical tradition, to take bows, we have Yoshi doing a spin for you. He says, thank you for watching. Oh, he's pawing at me because she wants to be a part of this, or she needs to go to the bathroom. She says, thank you for watching. She's a good girl. And here we go.
Ooh, good question. What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Favorite movie soundtrack of all time right now, I'm going to say White Christmas because it doesn't exist. They never issued it because they never could get the licensing between half of the stars were on one label and half were on another. Therefore, you've got this quasi soundtrack on one label with half of the people and then another one on the other label with the other half of the people, but not the actual songs. I have long since made my own, just recording from the Blu-ray and making CDs of it, and I listen to it. I love it. That right now is my all-time favorite. Glenn Miller's Story is also up there as well. Any more comments there?
Do you have any extra batteries for your camera?
Do I have any extra batteries for the camera? No, this is actually a laptop, and I have a charger, but it's in the room. But we're gonna cut it now because we've rambled enough, and I really appreciate you guys hanging on for this. And we got over 30 people tonight, which is pretty good. Last few comments here. Let's finish them up. Telling Carson to call me. My name is Adam Kirk. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. Sometimes, and that's cool. I love you guys talking to each other. Sometimes I don't know if it's directed to me or not. Steve, thank you. I appreciate it. Good night to you as well.
Your dumbest injury.
Dumbest injury. Oh, the time I ran off the curb, twisted my ankle, was flipping around because I thought I'd broken my ankle in the gutter. It was really just a bad sprain. I still can't quite bend my left ankle all the way back. I should have got it looked at. I never really. The urgent care was busy, and I was like, screw it. What's your favorite movie soundtrack? We got that. Have extra batteries. What RSDBF record will you buy? Record store day, I think is what you mean. I haven't done a lot of the record store day stuff because I think like comic book day, it should be free. That'd be more exciting. Free record day. Here's a bunch of expensive records you can buy. To me, it's kind of like there's nothing that usually it's stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. Maybe if I ever get rich, I'll go buy a couple of them, but nothing that super intrigues me. Carson, thank you. I appreciate it as well. Am I a supporter of Michael Framer? I'm agnostic. I think he's very smart. I think he knows a lot more than I do. We have a different approach on our show. Record Store Day, Black Friday. I don't know about that. I'll have to look that up. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for being there. Thanks for hanging out with me and the animals. There's an animal down here. There's one hiding back there. And there's another one somewhere in another room, perhaps. Maybe he's been on the show before, too. But anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Happy record hunting. Have an awesome night. Take care, guys.